Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's challenging level puzzle. And it's called Fries With That by Blobs. And here are the rules. I'd like a Renban burger with entropic cheese and German lettuce, please. So the Renban is the beef. The entropy is the cheese, and the German is whisper is the lettuce. Very cool. I like the picture. It's very cool. Um, Here and normal Sudoku rules apply, which means place the digits 1 through 9 once each in every row, column, and box. Digits along the burger, the pink line, form a consecutive sequence in any order. So we know if there's a 1 on the line, that would mean there would have to be a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 on the line too, because that's the only set of 7 digits that has a 1 in it that is consecutive. There are no repeats on it, and it has to form a consecutive sequence, right? So that's how that's how a Renban line works, and that's what the burger is. Every group of 3 consecutive cells along the cheese, the yellow line, contains a low digit, which is 1, 2, or 3, a middly digit, which is 4, 5, or 6, and a high digit, which is 7, 8, or 9. So this is called usually an entropic line. I'm actually not sure why it's called entropic. Entropy is that things spread out, so therefore you have to spread out the digits from sets. I don't know. Maybe that's why it's called entropic lines. But you have to have, in every set of 3 consecutive digits, you have to have one that's a low digit, which is 1, 2, or 3. One that's a middle digit, which is 4, 5, or 6, and one that's a high digit, 7, 8, or 9. So a valid example of these 3 cells could be like 6, 2, and 8, right? Because one's middle, one's low, one's middle, and one's high. And that has to be for every set of 3 consecutive digits on this line. So that's how entropic lines work. Then we have German whisper lines. Adjacent digits along the lettuce, the green line, differ by at least 5. And again, this is a German whisper line. So if this were a 3, this would have to be an 8 or a 9 to be adjacent to it, because adjacent digits must have a difference of at least 5. Anyways, those are all the rules. If you like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. Oh, sorry. One last rule. I've missed it. For the buns, digits in cages do not repeat and sum to the given total. Orthogonally, digits in cages do not repeat and sum to the given total. So therefore, these 4 digits must add up to 12. These 4 digits must add up to 19. These 4 digits must add up to 27, etc., etc. These 3 add up to 9. These 2 add up to 10, etc. Digits orthogonally adjacent to a cage may not be included in that cage. Okay, so that means that, what's an example? Actually, here. This is a 1. Therefore, there cannot be a 1 in this cage, which would be kind of obvious. But say we had a 5 here, right? If we have a 5 here, that means 5 cannot be in this cage, because any orthogonally adjacent digits, and orthogonally just means that they share an edge. So this is orthogonal, but this would be diagonal, but it doesn't. So therefore, this does not say anything about this cage, because this is not orthogonally adjacent, it's diagonally adjacent to this cage. But digits orthogonally adjacent to a cage may not be included in this cage. So if there was a 5 here, that means in this cage, there cannot be a 5 at all. So that's actually a very important restraint. So anyways, those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay, so first things first, we know these 3 cages add up to a certain number. What is that? This is 15, 25 with 10, and then plus 9 is 34. So therefore, these 2 digits add up to 11 exactly. So therefore, we know this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This can't be 5. Oh, actually, even easier. Where can the 5 be in row 8? The 5 cannot add up with another digit to add up to 10, because it would only be 5 and 5, and that's not allowed by Sudoku rules. And this can only be 6 through 9, right? Because it can't add up to 5 can't add up with the digit to add up to 15. So these can't be 5. This can't be 5 because of this 5, and this can't be these 3 can't be 5 because of that 5. Whereas the 5, it has to be here. So this is 5, which means this must be 1 and 3 to add up to 9, right? Because it has to be 5 plus 4, and we have 2 digits that add up to 4, 2 unique digits that add up to 4, so it must be 1 and 3. Therefore, this cannot be 1, 9, and it cannot be 3, 7. So it's either 2, 8 or 4, 6. This has to be 6, 7, 8, or 9, because it's either 6, 9, or it's 7, 8, adding up to 15. These 2 digits add up to 11, so it's either 2, 9, it cannot be 5, 6, it cannot be 3, 8, so it's 4, 7. So this is 2, 9, or 4, 7. Okay. We know that the 5 has to be on this red band. Actually, we know 2 through 8, actually not 2 through 8, 3 through 7 have to be on this red band, because this red band can either be 1 through 7, 2 through 8, or 3 through 9. Obviously, all of them contain 3 through 7. So 5 has to be here. This could be either 1, 2, 8, or 9, and this could be 1, 2, 8, or 9. But this can't be 1, and this can't be 1 because of the 1, 3 pair in box 7, which eliminates 1 from the rest of the box. So this can't be 1. Where is the 1? It has to be on the red band line, which means the red band line is 1 through 7. So this is specifically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 can't be here. 5 can't be here or here. 1 and 3 can't be here because of the 1, 3, 1, 3 pair. This can no longer be 2. This can no longer be 2. So we have one of these digits in the 15 cell is an 8 or a 9, right? Because it's either 6, 9, adding up to 15, or 7, 8. So this must be one of these is 8 or 9. We have another 8, 9 cell in box 9. So therefore, in box 9, there cannot be another 8 or a 9, except for in these 3 cells. Therefore, this can't be 8 or 9. None of these can be 8 or 9, and it can't be 5 either. So therefore, it could be 2, 3, 4, 6, or 7. This is 8 or 9, and this is 8 or 9. Okay, 5 has to be one of these 2. Okay, so for this entropic line, you have to have 2 at least from each set, from each low digit and the middle digits and the high digits. Therefore, both 1 and 2 have to be on the line. So this can't be 1 or 2. It also can't be 3, right? Because we have, so therefore this cannot specifically be a low digit. So it has to be medium or high. And we're going to make those green and red. So this has to be green or red. This is green or red, and this is actually, yeah, this is green or red. Then we're going to color, so for every 3 digits on an entropic line, they have to be the same set. And the reason why you know that is for the first 3 digits, consecutive digits on an entropic line, it must be one set. You have to have a different set in the second one, and you have to different set from the first 2 in the third one. But the thing is, what about the next set of 3, right? It obviously has to be, these two are the same, and this one must be part of the first set. So therefore, this is pink. And it continues on this way, right? Where the next 3, you're missing the orange set. So therefore, this has to be orange. Therefore, this has to be yellow. Therefore, this has to be pink. Well, we know specifically you can't have 3 lows on the line, right? Because you only have 1 and 2 left, right? So we know this is a low. So the pink specifically has to be medium or high. We're not sure which. This also has to be medium or high because we don't have, but it's the opposite set. It cannot be specifically this set. It has to be orange or yellow. We're not sure which one it is, though. So that's entropic lines. Let's just remove this for now. We just know those are high or low. On German whisper lines, you always alternate between lows and highs. And lows in this case is 1 through 4, and highs in this case is 6 through 9. Because on a German whisper line, if you have a 1 through 4, you have to be next to something that's 5 away from it. The lowest number is 1, so therefore the lowest number for the next set must be 1 plus 5, which is 6. So therefore 1 through 4 must be next to something that is from 6 through 9. And then if you look at it the other way, if you have 6 through 9, obviously the highest number then would be 9, and you take 5 away from that, that would be therefore the highest number for the next digit must be 4. So it's 4 and below. So it's always alternating sets. Therefore, whatever this set is, this must be the opposite set, which makes that the same opposite set. So therefore, it always alternates. Therefore, we know all of one set is already on this line, right? Therefore, the opposite one must be in the other ones, or a 5 must be there. Well, we know this can't be 5, so this is the opposite set. We know this can't be 5, so this is the opposite set. The 5 could be any of these 3. We're not sure which, though. Let's see. What else do we know? We do know what are these cells, right? These 2 cells must see 2 other unique digits on the German whisper line. So it can never be 4 or 6 here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, and this is 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, or 9. These 3 cells also see 2 unique digits on a German whisper line, right? This sees both these 2, this sees both these 2, and this sees both these 2. So all of these are 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9 on. And it's either all 1, 2, and 3, or it's all 7, 8, and 9, obviously. So this can't be 3. We know this 12, this 4-cell cage that adds up to 12, it has to be either 1, 2, 3, 6 or 1, 2, 4, 5. Those are the only possibilities. Therefore, 1 and 2 have to be in this cage, which means it's adjacent to this cell. Actually, it's adjacent to all 3 of these cells. So none of these cells can contain 1 or 2. So this can't be 1 or 2. So if this is low, it must be 3, and therefore these must be 8 or 9. So this can never be 7, because if this is high, this has to be low, which forces that to be 3. So 1 and 2 cannot be in any of these cells. Well, that makes sense. So this has to be, we know there's a 1, 2, and it's either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 6, or 1, 2, 4, 5. But this cage is adjacent to all of these cells, so none of these cells can be 1 or 2. So if this is low, This must be 3, this must be 1 or 2, and this must be 1 or 2. In addition, actually, we know if this is low, the 4 has to be one of these two cells, which makes this a 9. So one of these two cells must be a 9. So therefore, this can never be 9. Similarly, if there's a 6 in one of these cells, which has to be 6, 7, 8, or 9, so therefore this would be 6 or 7. This is 6 or 7, but this could be 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't be 3 here, but this could be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Um, oh, interesting. We have 2, 8, or 4, 6. Actually, no, that's not true. Never mind. I don't know what I was thinking. We know 1 is here. 9 has to be in... Oh, this can't be 9. Therefore, 9 has to be one of these 3 cells, right? This cannot be 1 or 2, and this can't be 1 or 2. But both of these could be 1 or 2? Possible. This can't be 1 or 2. Obviously, that can't contain 1 or 2. So this is 3 through 9. 6 cannot be here. And 5 cannot be here. This cannot be 5 either. Oh, can this ever be 7? Actually, it could be 7. Yeah, it could be 7. 1 and 2 cannot be here. So 1 and 2 has to be one of these cells. We also know... okay. This is a set from 1. Right. If this is 7, this would have to be 1 or 2, and this would be 1 or 2. That would eliminate 1s and 2s in the rest of box 5. But we know each set of 3 consecutive digits on the entropic line must contain a low, and it can't be 3, so it would have to be 1 or 2. Therefore, one of these is 1 or 2. And one of these, if this is 7, these would both be 1 or 2, so we would have 3 cells in box 5, which would require 2 digits only. So those 2 digits would have to be in 3 cells, which is impossible. So this can never be a 7 either. This is 3 or 8. So that means we know the 3 is somewhere on in one of these 3 cells, right? Because either this is 8, which means this is 3 with a 1 or 2, or this is 3 and this has to be 8 or 9. Well, the thing is, if this is 3, we also know then that 8 has to be one of these cells also. Because if it's 3, obviously it has to have an 8 or 9 with it. If it's 8, obviously it has to be 3 with it. 3 and 1 and 2. And one of these is 1 or 2. So therefore, you cannot have a 1 or 2 in the rest of the box. Because we know one of... well, actually, we could. Cannot be here, though. So therefore, this can't be 8. And this can't be 8. Because if these are all high, the 8 has to be one of these 3, right? Um, what else do we have? this, okay, so what are the possibilities that could be add up to 27? Well, actually, we know none of these can contain a 5. What are the possibilities then? I think it's 27. So it could be 3 with 7, 8, 9. So all of these could be 3, 7, 8, 9. It could be 4, 6, 8, 9, but it cannot contain a 5. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. If that's the case, so it could be 3, 7, 8, 9, 4, 6, 8, 9, and all the rest of the possibilities would have to be 5. So 3, 7, 8, 9, or 4, 6, 8, 9, which means 8 and 9 has to be in this cage, which means none of the neighboring cages, sorry, none of the neighboring cells can contain an 8 or a 9. So this can't be 8 or 9. Ah, and if this was 4, well, that's not true. Okay. So this cannot be 8 or 9. None of these can be 8 or 9. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7, because it can't be 5. This can't be 8 or this can't be 8 or 9. Therefore, if the oranges are high, this has to be 7, this has to be 8, and this has to be 9, which means 4 can never be here. So this would be 1 or 2, and this would have to be 1 or 2. So this can't be 3. So this would be 9, which would make that 4. So this would cannot be 1 or 2. This would be 4, this would be 3, this would be 1 or 2, this would be 1 or 2, right? And this can't be 1 because of this one. So therefore this would be 2, which means this can't be 2. So this would have to be 1, 3, 4, 2. This would be 9, 8, and 7. Because this can't be 8 or 9. This can't be 1 or 8 or 9. So it's 2 through 7. And this obviously couldn't be 8 or 9. Right? Okay. Oh, this one could actually be 8 or 9. So that's fine. It's specifically these two, because they're adjacent, orthogonally connecting to the cage. These two, and these two. This cannot be 1 or 2 or 6, so this is 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Hmm. This can't be 1 or 2 or 3 or 8. This can't be 1 or 2 or 3 or 8, so this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Obviously, this can't be 5. Hmm. Okay. If this is 7... Okay, let's see what the possibilities are if we set these to certain digits. If this is 7, 8, and 9, this can't be 3, 7, 8, 9, so it has to be 4, 6, 8, 9. This obviously can't be 7 or 9. This can't be 7 or 9. So these two digits would have to touch this. And if this were 1, 2, 4, 5, this would have to be 6 and 6, because it could not have a 4 or 5 be adjacent to this cage. Therefore, this cannot be 1, 2, 4, 5. This would have to be 1, 2, 3, 6. And this could not be 7, so this can't be 3, 7, 8, 9. So you'd have to have this be 1, 2, 3, 6. This would have to be 4, and this would be 5. This could not be 3, 7, 8, 9, so this would have to be 4, 6, 8, 9. Well, that means 6 could not be either of these two. And 3 and 6 could not be either of these two. So this couldn't be 3, this couldn't be 6. This could not be 9 either because of this 9. So this all looks kosher, actually. This can't be a 6. This can't be a 6 either. So one of these two is 6, which means none of these are 6. Yeah, that's looking fine. Let's eliminate some also additional digits that we know. This can't be 6, and this can't be 1. Okay. Whatever's in this cell, actually, yeah, whatever's in this cell cannot be here, obviously, because cages do not have repeats. Cannot be here because that's orthogonally adjacent to the cage, and it cannot be here because it's orthogonally adjacent to the cage. Therefore, this cell must be one of these two cells, but we're not sure which. Same for this one. This cell must be one of these two cells, right? For the same reasoning. Therefore, it would have to be one of those three, which is fine. So we tried this being 7, which forces this to be 8, and that to be 9. So then this would be 3, 1, 2. That seemed to work. What about if this is 3? If this is 3, this becomes 1, 2, 1, 2. This has to be 8 or 9. So one of these is 6, 7. One of these is 6, 7. This is 1 or 2. Therefore, this is 1, 2, 4, 5. So this can't be 5, which means this can't be 5. None of these can be 5. This specifically can't be 4, and this specifically can't be 4. So 5 would 4 and 5 are no longer here. That seems fine. So therefore this would have to be 1 or 2. Because we know only one of these is 1 or 2. Oh, in that case, this would be 3. This would be 8 and 9. So the high would have to be 7 here. Ah, which is a contradiction. We know this would have to be 8, 9, 8, 9. We know there's a high here. So therefore, there has to be, cannot be 8 and 9. It must be 7. So 7 must be here, which means this must be 7 or 9. This cannot contain 7 or 9 because we already have two that are 8 and 9. We have an 8, 9, 8, 9 pair here, and we know one of these is 7. So this can't be 7 or 9. This can't be 7 or 9. Therefore, we have the same pattern of this being, but we know this has to be 1, 2, 4, 5, but they would be next to a 4 and 6 and a 4, 5, and 6, which eliminates 4 and 5 from those cells. So both of these would have to be 6. Therefore, it's contradiction. Therefore, this cannot be 3. Therefore, this has to be an 8, which makes this 7 and makes that 9. Therefore, on the German whisper line, 4 can only be next to a 9, so therefore this is 4. 3 can only be next to 8 and 9 if it's 2 digits. And this one... Right, we know there's a 1 and 2 here. So this has to be 1 and 2 and a 3. So therefore this must be the 3. This is 7, which is next to 1 and 2. And this can't be 1, so therefore this is 2. That's 1. So now we know this cannot be 3, 7, 8, 9. It must be 4, 6, 8, 9. This can't be 7 or 9. This can't be 7 or 9. Therefore, we know this has to be 4, 5, or 6, or 4, 5, or 6. If this is 1, 2, 4, 5, that eliminates all possibilities for this. So therefore, this must be 1, 2, 3, 6. So we know this is 1, 2, 3, 6, which means 6 cannot be orthogonally adjacent to this cage. So therefore, this is 4. This can't be 4 or 6, so this must be 5. 6 can't be orthogonally adjacent, so this can't be 6. This can't be 3 or 6. This can't be 3 or 6. This can't be 3. This is 4, 6, 8, 9, so 6 cannot be any of the orthogonally adjacent ones. Therefore, these two are 6. So one of these two is a 6. This can't be 3, this can't be 3 or 4, this can't be... Yeah, this can't be 1. So 6 has to be one of these two because this is orthogonally adjacent to this 4, 6, 8, 9 cage. Therefore, this cannot be 6, which forces this to be the 6. Okay. We know 6 obviously can't be here. 6 can't be here. 4 cannot be orthogonally adjacent to it, so this can't be 4. This can't be 7, 4, 5, or 2. So this is 3 or 6, but it can't be 6 because that's orthogonally adjacent to there. Therefore, this must be a 3. This can't be 2, so this must be 1, 2, or 6. This can't be 6, obviously, so this is 1 or 2. This can't be 2, so it's 1 or 6. Okay, so 9 cannot be in this 19 cage because it's orthogonally adjacent to it. This can't be 6. Since this can't be 6, it can't be 7 either. Therefore, this cannot be 8 or 9. This has to be 6 or 7 here. This can't be 2 or 3. This can't be 2 or 3, so therefore it must be a 7. Which means this can't be 7, so therefore that's 6, which makes that a 9, which makes that 8, which makes that 9. This can no longer be 2 and 9 to add up to 11 because the 9 is here. This can't be 4 or 6. Therefore, this is 2 and 8. This can't be 2. This can't be 2 or 9. So this is 4 and 7, 4 and 7. None of these can be 7 because of the 7 here. This can't be 7. Can't be 6 either. This can't be 6. None of these could be 6, and this can't be... Neither of these could be 7. Okay. This can't be 1. None of these could be 2. One of these is 8. We're not sure which. This can't be 4. What else do we have here? 2, 4, 6, and 7. This obviously can't be 4. This can't be 8 because of this 8. Therefore, this is a 2. That's an 8. Therefore, this can't be the 8. Therefore, we know 8 is here. So this can't be 8. This can't be 9 because of this 9. What's left here? This is 4 or 5. Also, we know we have a low, a medium, and a high here. The only low possible is a 2. The only medium possible is a 6. Therefore, we have 7 or 9 as the high in this spot. This can't be 2, obviously. This must be 7 or 9, and it has to be a high. This is a high, too, so this can't be 5. So the 5 is either here or it's here. This can't be 1, 2, 3, 4. This can't be 1, 2, 3, 4. This has to be 7, 8, or 9, but no 9 is possible because of there. This can't be 1 through 4. It can't be 5. Could be 6 or 9, so that's possible. Okay. The 7's not here. 6 must be one of those two. This can't be 2. That cannot be 2. This can't be 7. So we know the 7 has to be one of these 3. along with the 5. So 5 and 7 both have to be one of those three. And the last one's 4, 8, or 9, but we're not sure which. So we have 7's one of these three. What's the rest of these cells possible? It could be 1, 2, no 3. It could be 4, 7, or 8. So this can't be 7. What is this add up to? So if this is 4, this would have to be 8. That would be 12. So these two would have to add up to 7. So it could be 1 or 6. It could be 2 and 5. Actually, it cannot be 1 and 6. It would have to be 2 and 5 specifically. So if this is 4, this is 8, this would have to be 2 and 5, which would force this to be 5 and that to be 2. And then this could no longer be 2. That's fine. What if this is not 4? If this is 5, this could be 4 with it, so that would add up to 9. So therefore, these two would add up to 10. It could not be 1, 9. It could be 2, 8. Or, yeah, so if this is 5, it's either with 4 or 8. If it's 5 and 4, it could be 2, 8. So either of these could be 2, and this could be 8. It could be 3, 7, so this could be 7 and 3. Or this is 5 and 8, which is 13, so this would have to add to 6, which could only be 2 and 4. But that would be 2, and therefore this would be 4, if that's the case. Interesting. So that's if that's 5. If this is 7 and 8, this would specifically have to be 1 and 3. Right, because this is 15, this would have to add up to 4. Two unique digits adding up to 4 is only 1 and 3. But then neither of this cell cannot be either 1 or 3. So therefore 7 and 8 does not work. What about 7 and 4? If it's 7 and 4, that adds up to 11. So these two digits must add up to 8. If you already have 7 and 4, it cannot be 1 and 7. So you can never have a 1 here. You could have 2 and 6. Actually, no, you can't have 2 and 6. It would have to be 3 and 5 then. So if this is 7, this has to be 4, 3, and 5. Oh, we know there's a 5 here too. But 5 cannot be here. 5 was always in the set. So that means the other 3 digits must add up to what? 14. You cannot have a 7 with that, right? If you have 5 and 7, that's 12. I guess you could have 3 and 4. Okay, 3 and 4 does potentially work. So we know there's a 5 here. So there has to be a 5 here. Because this is 5. Oh, well, we already have a 4 too. So whatever these are, we can just delete. We know this is not 4, so this has to be 8. So these 3 cells add up to 11. We know we have a 5. What else can it be? It can't be 155, so there's no 155. It has to be 2, 4, and 5. Therefore, this is 2, 4, 5. This is 2, 4. Therefore, this can't be 7 at all. Therefore, this is also 2, 4, 5. This has to be the 7 because this is the only place for 7. This can't be 4, obviously. Cannot be 4. So we know this can't be 2 because it's adjacent to the 2, 4, 5. This can't be 2 or 4 because of the 2, 4, 5 triplet in box 1. It can't be 8. This must be a 1, which forces this to be 2. This can't be 2 This can't be 7, so this must be 8, which means this can't be 7. This is a 4, which forces that to be a 7, so this can't be 7. Okay, so this is 2, 4, and 5. Obviously, none of these could be 2, 4, 5. 8 cannot be here. Where is the 8? It has to be here. So this is 8. These can no longer be 8. So it's 4 or 9 here. This has to be specifically 3 and 9. 9 cannot be here, therefore this is 3 because of that 9, so therefore this is 9. This can't be 9 anymore, so this is 4. This can't be 4, so therefore it's 2. This can't be 1, so this is not 1. This is 3, which makes that a 2, which means this can't be 3. And this can't be 3. This can't be the 2. Therefore, this is the 2. And again, you have to have for every other third digit, it has to be the same set. So therefore, this is 1, which means this can't be 1. This has to be 6, which forces this to be 1. Let's see. This can't be 2, so that's 5, which makes that 4. None of these are 4. This has to be 8. This has to be 9 then. This is a 1, 6, 1, 6 pair, which eliminates the 1 here. And this can't be 2, so therefore this is 3, which means this can't be 3. These can't be 4 anymore. This can't be 8. Therefore, where's the 8 in box 7? It has to be here. This can't be 4 or 5. This can't be 5. Therefore, this is 7. This has to be 5 because there's no other possibility, and therefore this is 9. So this can't be 7. This can't be 4 or 7. So we have 3, 6, or 9 here also. This can't be 1 anymore. It can't be 3. It must be a 2. So this is a 1, 4 pair. This can't be 1, so this must be 4, which makes that a 1. This can't be 6, so this must be 9. This can't be 9, so this must be 7, which forces this to be a 6, 9 pair here. 4 cannot be any of these two, so 4 has to be one of these two. This can't be 4. This is a 5, actually, because of this 4. What does that make this? This has to be an 8. So the 4 has to be here then. This has to be 5 as the only remaining 5. So therefore this can't be 5. This must be 6. These are the same set. So therefore this is a high. Therefore this must be a high. So therefore that's a 9. This is a 6. This must be a 5. This must be a 7 because of the same set here. This can no longer be 7. This can't be 7. We have a 2, 6, 2, 6 pair. This can't be 2 or 6. This must be a 7. This can't be 4, so that forces this to be 2. No 2 here, no 2 or 5 here, so this is 3 or 4. This is 3 or 4. This can't be 7. This can't be 6. That forces this to be 3, which makes that a 4, which makes that a 3. This can't be 2, so this is 6, which means that can't be 6, so this is a 2. This can no longer be 7. This can't be 4, so it's a 1, 6, 1, 6 pair. In box 8, 1 and 6 cannot be in the rest of the box. Therefore, this can't be 3 or 6. This has to be 9. This has to be 4 or 7. And this can't be 4, so therefore this is 7, which makes that a 4. 1, 3, and 5 are here. This can't be 1, so it's a 3, which makes that a 1. This cell... This cage, sorry, is adjacent to this cell, so this can't be a 1. Therefore, this is a 6, this is a 1, that can't be a 1, this can't be a 6, so it's a 1, and therefore this is a 6. And that's a solution. Actually, pretty straightforward. You just have to basically eliminate all the possibilities, right? And you knew that this one, you tried making that a 3, and therefore that broke these cages. So therefore, that didn't work. It was a fun puzzle, and I hope you had a fun time watching this solve. And I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.